All right, you're asking for it, so here it is. Listen to this.
I want you fucks laughing at we partners pod, kid. You understand? We in here drinking, singing, swinging, all that shit, dog. We sweating, getting wet, all that.
All right. This is like semi-live. Welcome to the 104th episode of the Drinking Partners Podcast. This is our Brett Favre episode because we're basically just drunkenly throwing shit downfield. That's pretty much how we podcast. We show up and we just go off the cuff. And he looks like the type of guy that I want to have a beer with. Any dude I've seen wearing Wranglers, I want to drink with.
Yeah, and we the Iron Men in this shit. You know
We're the Iron Men in this shit.
104, straight. Like,
there you go. See, now you're in on the athlete thing. It's caught on 104 episodes, and Dave finally wants to contribute. I am half of your hosting tandem, Ed Bailey. I'm joined, as always, with my co-host, Dave Bracey. Say what up to the people.
What's good with you people? We are Drinking Partners, and if you're looking for us, you can find us on epicastnetwork.com/partnerspod. You can find us on IG, Twitter, and Facebook at Partnerspod. You can find us on iTunes, Stitcher, Libsyn, and Google Play under Drinking Partners.
We are Googleable.
104 episodes, man. If you're tuning in for the first time, it's the first time you're hearing it. If you're tuning in for the 104th episode, then it's the 104th time you heard it, man. Rate and review on iTunes, man. We need those. That's how we know we're doing well. That's how we let others know that we're doing well. And that's how we continue to do well, man. So please stop by iTunes, leave a little rate and review.
Hey, you love us when you see us in person. You tell us you love us. Now just tell the world on the internet. That's pretty much how we need that to go. And also, as always, in lieu of rates and reviews, we do take shots of Henny.
We do take
you
shots
see us
of
out
Henny.
in person. Get us a shot of Henny. Shout out to James.
That's actually becoming a thing.
Yeah, man. We did the live at Rock Bottom.
Yeah.
Shot of Henny. From the dude in the neck brace.
Neck brace. Mr. and Mrs. Neck Brace. Shout out to Mr. and Mrs. Neck Brace from 103.
Is he still rocking the neck brace? Yo, you got to be really fucked up to go out to eat in a neck brace. Like, you still going out. Like, he's like, I refuse to not eat this steak.
Yeah.
I'm going to rock this neck brace.
You got to treat yourself.
And I'm going to sit in the front of this podcast.
He's clearly been through some shit.
Yeah, I wonder how he broke his neck.
I don't know, but he kept to go through some shit like that and still, like, buy some random black dudes that are, like, screaming obscenities, like, behind you, a couple shots of Hennedy.
It was probably super uncomfortable. He probably got us that Henny to sedate us, man. We don't know what the fuck was going on. This dude could have been trying to kill us. He looked like he hunts.
That was that sorry for the election shot.
Yo, have you been getting the white sympathy?
Yeah.
It's been pretty cool, man.
Yeah, I'm not mad at that white sympathy. I appreciate that.
Yeah, but shout out to Rock Bottom for having us for the ugly sweater / fireplace.
Yeah, the fireside chats, man. All the breweries that came out, Penn Brew and Shoe Brew. We had a great time out there down in Homestead. Shout out to Rock Bottom.
If you can't tell in our voices, Day and I are hungover.
Yeah,
super fucking hungover. Day's super smooth today. Like you on your Billy D for real, man.
Man,
just rolled out of bed.
Yeah, really. It was that Christmas party. You know how that be. So yeah.
Yeah, Day had his annual Christmas party. They did the murder mystery.
Yeah, the 80s themed prom murder mystery. Like it's, everybody dressed up like the 80s and there's somebody dies.
Which
and you got to figure out.
I was that dude. I was that guy that shows up to the theme party dressed regularly.
You was like Marty McFly.
Yeah, I was just regular. Like,
this doesn't end well. Just so y'all know.
Yeah, but shout out to you and Kat for that. That's always a good time. We had that Weyerbacher Blithering Idiot.
Yeah. Grown-up human comic people came through with the Blithering Idiot, man. They always are showing up with some crazy shit, man.
Yeah,
like, anytime I see them, they've got like some age shit or some high volume, like you knock you on your ass. Like
those guys drink well.
Yeah,
very well. But we have an assortment of we have an assortment of beers here.
I just want to let the listeners know that I just poured a glass of some Victory Quad. It's liquid luxury, a Belgian-style quad from Victory, and it's been aged.
Is that what it says on the label? Liquid luxury, or is that a Day Bracey?
No, that's a liquid luxury. Yeah, it's some like it's that. And the
it
bar,
is liquid luxury.
You could tell like this is a motherfucking a beast, and it's smooth and delicious, and we have to thank our sponsors for that.
Thank our sponsors, Chris the Beer Guy in the building. This one's for you.
Cheers.
That is good as shit. Shout out to that. What do we got coming up? We got
in 2017 Every last weekend of the month, we got Contra Theater coming up. So look out for tickets for that.
First show, January 28th.
January 28th, yeah.
Look out for tickets for that. Very excited.
Last weekend of the month. We also, by the time this come out, that'll have passed. But the New Year's Eve down, Pittsburgh Comedy Festival down at first night. So if you listen to this now, you should have been there. But that's going to be
somehow they booked us to do clean comedy.
Yeah.
So we'll figure that out.
Yeah, clean comedy. Sean Collier down there. 2 shows. Part of the Pittsburgh Comedy Festival coming down the first night. Introducing comedy to the rest of the city, man. It's going to be a dope show.
Yeah, that's going to be excellent.
Not that it matters for anybody listening right now.
It does matter. It does matter. You support us. Support us, man.
True.
We should just put this piece of the cast out early and be like, yeah, we down at first night. I'm excited, man. That's huge. We have a good cast coming up.
Yeah.
We here at the Drinking Partners, we love to link up with the best in the city.
Always.
We like to fancy ourselves as the best podcast in the city, and now we have the best jazz musician in the city?
Yes, we do. We have best jazz musician in the city, and we also have lead singer and part of Rusted Root in the building. And my fiance was a huge fan of that shit. She was just like, oh my god, you man.
Are those words that she said?
You know how it is. Once they get to talking, it just is
that you get to the point where your woman just sounds like Charlie Brown?
Yeah, once I get the gist of it, then there's just a bunch of extra words that go into, you know what I mean? You're like, all right, I got it. So
Buzzy, Dave's gonna need you to edit that part out. That can't see the light of day.
The beauty of editing.
That's gotta go. But we have Liz Berlin and Fat Man D in the building. Say what up to the people.
Hello.
Yeah, they're in here. So you guys are doing a joint album, right?
We are. Our first collaboration.
Yeah, we're working on a project together called Social Justice Disco: Songs to Fight Fascists By.
Ooh,
music with a purpose.
Yes, I like that.
You like the Kendrick Lamar of this jazz thing?
Yeah, we're. I'm blessed. I wouldn't say that I'm the best jazz musician in the city. What I would say is that the City Paper Readers Poll has the good readers of City Paper have voted me one of the best jazz
humility.
acts.
I love it. You gotta have it straightforward. Like, it's just
best jazz musician.
I didn't say it. Other people said it.
You got voted for a reason.
I did get voted for a reason,
Yes.
but there's you know how it is, man. I work with people, twice my age. I work with people, elders, and I just can't roll into the jam session like I'm number one.
Well, you don't have to say that. The City Paper said it for you.
Exactly. You didn't say it. Other people said it. It was forced upon you.
You don't walk in the rooms and be like, hey, I'm Ed Bailey of the number one podcast in the city. I don't say that, but whenever we do the intro, we tend to kind of bring it up.
Yeah, it's a thing that happened. Like,
Exciting though to work with Liz. Liz, she is in a bona fide, successful number one rock and roll band, and she's had a platinum album.
Triple platinum.
Holy moly!
oh, shit.
Yeah.
Damn it.
In the day.
Triple platinum? God,
Yeah.
You like the Nelly of the shit. You like Nelly out this bitch. You got plaques on the wall.
Back when albums used to actually sell back in the day.
Oh, you're a rapper for real. 'Cause that's what rappers always say. Like, back when albums used to sell. Oh, that's crazy. So how is your rock, your jazz, the album, what genre is that then? Is that
The
how
new
does that
one that
work
we're
out?
working on is, it's half my jazz band, it's half my musicians, and it's half her musicians. And we're doing about half the record's going to be original material.
Okay.
That I wrote a lot of lyrics, and she helped me write, song structure. And then it's half my jazz musicians and half her rock musicians, because disco in its form is music that is part rock, part jazz, part R&B, part Afro-Cuban, part got to have a good horn section, got to have some strings. It's got to be danceable for the people,
People.
So it's just got to be good dance music, like orchestral and funky with beats that can be turned around upside down. See, this beer is already having an effect. I'm having literally 3 sips.
I like her. Like, she got some swag to it. Like
You don't
these
just
words.
become the best jazz musician in the city with no swag. Jazz is all swag.
She's flipping these words out here.
You ever get in a dude's car and he's playing jazz? You're like, yo, this dude got super swag.
Yo.
So disco, why disco? I mean, are you a dancing fan?
Guys got the sequence on.
Yeah,
with the,
We're dancing fans. I mean, well, she has dance fans.
I just wanted to dance while you were explaining that shit. Like, oh,
know,
fat
right?
man, take it home, kid.
No, it started as April Fool's joke. Literally, I was actually laying in my bed April Fool's Day morning, and I was like messing around on Facebook, and I'm like tagging. I'm like, Wendy Bell and I are gonna wrestle in Chip Chop Ham down at Point State Park during the Arts Festival, and we're gonna donate all the money. It's gonna be a charity match. We're gonna donate all the money to Black Lives Matter Pittsburgh. And then Wendy Bell did not respond. And
and she tends to do that.
And then I tagged Tom Savini. I said, Tom Savini just contacted me. We're going to do a biopic about the life of Zoe Saldana as she played Nina Simone. And it's going to be called I Got You Under My Skins. It's going to be a zombie biopic. And Tom Savini did not respond.
Yeah, I figured he might have responded to that one though.
He did not. He did not. He'll say hi to me in public, but yeah, that's about it. But then I tagged Liz, and I've been knowing Liz 25 years, and I work for her in her We Rock Workshop music program, and I said, Liz Berlin and I are going to make a social justice disco album, and it's going to be great. And then she saw it on Facebook, and she responded because we're actually friends.
You get more than the high and by.
So I wake up first thing in the morning. I don't know what day it is. I put on Facebook just to see what's up, and I get tagged in this post, and I'm like, what is she talking about? How do I not know about this? And then of course I realized what day it was. So I was like, okay, all right. So, but I was like, that's actually a really good idea, you know. And there's so much going on, and I wanted to be able to do something and say something and put my art towards it. And so, you know, she just provided the vehicle.
Our fans got really disappointed too. Like when they realized it was a joke, our fans were like, "Oh,
yeah,
they were all like, I would buy that. I would see that. You know?
I'd dance up and dance for equity. I'll go fight Jim Crow if I could do it in sequence."
Yeah, like so with the songwriting process, was it difficult to have that message with the disco style of music? I mean, not having listened to a lot of disco in my life, I can't even
I've never
know
seen
what the lyrics were about. Or
the lyrics of disco were about drugs and sex.
I just
parties,
watched
right?
the Get Down on Netflix.
Yeah,
none of that seems like it was fighting for social justice.
Well, I mean, I had all these songs. I had like 6 or 7 songs about Jim Crow and Fourth Reich Horizon and drone warfare. I had all these songs that never fit on one of my jazz albums. And so I took them to Liz, and I took them to my musicians and her musicians, and I said, I have all these songs. Jim Crow is alive and well. Here I got someone Fourth Reich Horizon. I got someone Big Brother is Trending. And then she and I picked also a bunch of other songs written by songwriters like locally based. We have Ann Feeney, who wrote Have You Been to Jail for Justice? So we discified that. And we're discifying.
Discify.
Yeah, we're discifying Your Racist Friend by They Might Be Giants. And then we're doing some other songs that are intrinsically already disco, like we're doing
well, the one song I will say that is intrinsically a social justice power song is I Will Survive.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so we're bringing that back.
I get that.
Yeah.
That is really the first like female empowerment, like, you know, anthem of that time period. So we're bringing that back.
And it was claimed by the gay community as well.
True.
So,
yeah.
You know.
What? I didn't even think of that song.
Mm-hmm.
You can get your social justice on to some disco.
Oh man, when that song comes on, I feel empowered. Like, you know what I mean? I usually put that on once I get fired from a gig. Like,
you know what?
I'm gonna keep going. Like, no, that's super dope. I just want to take a break and shout out Vicini's distributors once again for this goddamn quad, because I'm actually feeling that. Are you enjoying that?
I'm getting a little warm. Yeah.
Yeah, it's heavy.
It tingles you. On the
yeah,
inside.
I mean, what is this? Like
It's
a 12?
Liquid
luxury.
I think it's like a
Luxury-
12%.
Luxury liquid. I don't know.
Yeah.
It dances on your tongue, Paul.
It was a 12% before it was aged, so I don't know where it's at this point. But
At this point, I probably shouldn't be drinking this.
yeah.
After last night, like
Considering the way you walked in.
Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, I walked in with a big ass water bottle to show up to a drinking podcast. That never happens.
Because I always, like, on these days, like, stack the car with, like, 4 bottles of Gatorade. Like, that's
Oh,
why
see, I didn't pregame it. I didn't know. Nobody told me.
We'll see. Last night was a marathon for us. We went pretty long.
Pause. No, you can finish your thought, but I just need to pause all of that. Last night was a marathon. We went pretty long. Nah, fam. I heard the Gatorade thing was a myth anyway. Like, I heard that doesn't help.
You're hydrating yourself.
Yeah, but it doesn't have to be Gatorade.
No, it doesn't. It could be water, like what
And
you were doing.
You got your salt and your sugar in there, your electrolytes. I mean, you're fighting, cholera.
You get a little bit of
There's
carbs
a malaria.
in there.
I can't remember.
I mean, it's useful. It's not like a miracle, but it's the same thing with water.
Water's just a mental thing. Water didn't really help
hydrate you, man.
It's just mental for me.
It's good for your vocal folds.
Vocal folds.
Folds. Don't know what that is.
They're the folds they're right here. They're like these muscles right here.
And when you hum, and you can feel
so
that
I can sound
flutter.
like they.
Well, I'm just saying if they're hydrated, then they won't go so much.
Yeah. We do a lot of hydrating on this show.
Hydrating is important.
Thanks to Vicini's. Shout out to them for the great brew, man.
But hey, getting back to like being able to fight for things with music. I mean, I sang in a gospel choir, and our pastor Derek Tynes told me last week. He said, "Oh yeah, when people were sieging Jericho and going out to battle, they would put the singers in front." So I mean, the power of music is not new.
It's energizing.
Definitely we can definitely fight fascists. I mean, we're even doing a song called "All You Fascists Are Bound to Lose" by Woody Guthrie and Billy Bragg, and it's all about taking down the people that want to squish us.
So have you always had that social element to your music? Or has it always been socially charged? Or I mean, is that how you originally got into music, or is that a more recent thing for you?
No, for me, the first time I ever saw music being used to protest anything was when I saw Liz Berlin with her band Rusted Root protesting autonomous flying vehicles, which were being developed in the 90s at Wien Hall at Carnegie Mellon University. We know them today as drones. So our friend Vincent Irene, who runs a homeless shelter in the North Side called Duncan and Porter House, was fasting. He was doing a 40-day fast. This was back in 1992 or 3, and I was still in high school, and Liz was just barely out of high school. And she was singing with Rusted Root, and we were protesting the Iraqi War because we all knew it was a war for oil. It was a blood for oil. It wasn't a war fighting for anything but profits. So I mean, I've been socially active. Liz has been socially active for decades, decades and decades, and I've been trying to figure out how to work it into my music. I do annually. I do a Merry Christmas Hanukkah Kwanzaa event where we celebrate the festival season with songs from all cultures, and it's not just about European Christmas. It's about, because I'm Jewish, Liz was raised Jewish, so we don't celebrate just one, we celebrate it all. And we try, and we work with foster kids and at-risk youth through her program, We Rock Workshop, which I think is intrinsically political because we're working with kids who don't get a chance to write music or don't have a creative outlet maybe. And so they get to write it's mostly raps and hip hop. So they write their songs and they get their feelings out, and I think doing that, and I teach at the Afro-American Music Institute. So I just, I've always been really conscious. My mom was a union representative when she worked in the jail. And she was fighting for prisoners' rights as well as the rights of the women and the people of color in the prison who worked there, because it was an old boys network and white boys network.
Yeah.
So, and as a Jewish woman, she got the short end of the, you know how that goes. This beer's good. I'm just rambling on and on.
I'll go ahead. Shit. Make me want to go join a club or something.
Yeah, no, like, maybe I should be doing
I start thinking about my life. What the fuck am I doing?
Yeah. I need to hop in some fights. And
you know what happened? See, I think the musical program for children, I think, is amazing, because I think, like, growing up in the inner city, we weren't exposed to music, I guess, how I think you should be. Like, when I was coming up, they throw a recorder in your face. So I always tell the story, like, they give you a recorder, and that's the first instrument you play. And, like, most people aren't going to be interested in music after that. Like, if you're playing a little bullshit recorder, like, I think we should get more programs in the school. I mean, I think music is an art form, that you can take in different directions.
I
I've never
think
even thought about the social aspect of it a lot of times, but
yeah, I mean, you figure you're developing, a young mind and giving them skills, to any time that you can sharpen the mind in some way, shape, or form, and to think outside of just your rudimentary, like, get this job, become a, another bot in the,
Right.
cog in the wheel type thing. And it's tough because, it's a luxury. A lot of schools don't even have budgets
Right,
for it.
they
And that's the
don't have the
first thing
resources
that,
for it.
that's the first thing that goes, So, I mean, I think it's, it's definitely important to do that.
just stop giving us recorders, man.
Yeah.
Well, that was the reason why we developed, one of the big reasons why we developed our nonprofit. It's called Creative Life Support, and why we developed this program, the We Rock Workshop, is to kind of help bridge that gap because, even the recorders are disappearing at this point. They don't even have like regular old school music in there anymore, and we just wanted to provide like an outlet for them to come and express their feelings. Not only that though, but to learn some technology and just like learn some tools to be able to express themselves in the future. And there's a really big focus in our program on what are the concrete steps that you can learn to do just as you in your current situation to be creative, to express yourself, and sort of dispelling the myths of like, oh, I'm gonna, get famous, or I'm gonna be this big star. But like, what does it actually mean to you? What are you actually gonna do right now with yourself, with what you have at your disposal?
So, I guess one, how do, kids get involved with a program like that? And two, kind of give us a little background how like that started to, because I think it's a program that's important, and other communities can start it themselves. But a lot of times, like, you see a program, you see it happening, and you don't think like, oh, this is something that I can start myself in my own community. Like somebody in LA or listening in DC right now, or in Texas, or wherever you're listening at right now. Could you give like a little bit of insight in how you got that started, and some?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, my husband and I, we have a couple for-profit businesses. We have Mr. Small's recording studio on the north side and Mr. Small's theater in Millvale. And so, in developing those, there was always things that we did because we wanted to do it, support our friends who were talented musicians, help them get recording time. We started teaching a band camp every summer to kids to help them form little rock bands. And, and eventually, and I started going into different schools and developing the We Rock Workshop program at different schools like Pace, which is out in Churchill, that is sort of an alternative school for kids who have either emotional or diagnosed challenges, mental challenges. And so I developed a lot of it through that. But this particular program was developed in cooperation with the Department of Human Services, with help from Judge Max Baer, Supreme Court Justice Max Baer. And we developed it specifically for the transitional age group from like 14 to 21. And we don't cut off at 18 because, a lot of things, everything cuts off if you're a foster kid, everything cuts off at 18. You're out on the street.
Yeah.
Like there's no mom, there's no dad to like, buy you that microphone or help you get strings on that guitar.
Yeah.
So we are one of the transitional programs that the foster care system is like trying to provide for these people. Like the saying is age up, not out. Like your mom and dad wouldn't kick you to the curb. So we're trying to help to fill that gap.
Wow.
Hey, I just want to shout out my homeboy I went to high school with, Randolph Woods. He actually has the East Cleveland Community Arts and Mentorship Program that he just started, which is very similar. It's a music arts program that he started in East Cleveland, kind of get some students out. I know they doubled their membership over the past week, so shout out to him.
Nice.
I was
That's
just,
awesome.
I was like looking, I'm like, damn, I know my man, I couldn't think of the name of it. But if you're listening, bro, shout out to you and what you're doing, man. Like, but he was one of those guys when we were young who picked up music early. Like, he's been playing music his whole life, and I've seen how music, has worked with him and how he's worked with music and how it's shaped him as a man. I think it's dope. Like, I would love to get my children into some arts, but again, I would need a program as a parent. I would need a program like this. I don't know shit about music.
There's a program that I work for. We've been around 35 years, and it's in Homewood, 7131 Hamilton Avenue. It's called the Afro-American Music Institute, and the best jazz musicians in the city do teach there. The faculty is it's led by Dr. James Johnson, and his son James Johnson III is one of the most incredible jazz percussionists we have. Our Afro-American Boys Choir, Music Institute Boys Choir, is led by Dr. J and Howie Alexander, and we have incredible teachers. I'm the voice teacher. I teach young children voice. We had our winter recital yesterday, and it's just amazing. So if you wanted to bring your kids by there and check out the boys choir, check out the instrumental. It's for students. It's not just for youth. I think our oldest student is 96, but we do have a huge group of youth, and we're open Monday through Thursday, 4 to 10 p.m. Maybe that doesn't sound right. 4 to 8 p.m. And then Saturdays all day from 10 to 4.
That's what I want to do when I get old. Just start doing shit.
96. I'm not old.
Well, you ain't 96. You're 96 in the music
She's
class.
awesome.
That's what I want to be.
So her son was my drummer for a while, and then he got married. His beautiful wife, I don't think, likes him traipsing out with me doing my shows with till all hours because they're church going folk. So.
I know a lot of church going folk that stay out late.
They stay out late.
Yeah,
most of your local clubs are filled with church going folk. If you go to room 16 on Saturday night and then go to Mount Ararat on Sunday morning,
you're gonna see a lot of the same. Some might even have the same outfit on.
You know what I mean? Some of them still got the same tights on.
Just make sure you dress up nice to go out that night so you don't have to.
They say come as you are, and I just woke up.
Just don't spill anything on your dress, and it's recyclable to the morning.
What was that old Billie Holiday song? If I cabaret on Sunday, if I go to church on Sunday, and I cabaret all day Monday, ain't nobody's business if I do.
Hold on, you just gonna start riffing on us? You just gonna do a random riff on us using your vocal folds? I saw your folds doing that shit there.
Is it a walk of shame if it ends
if you do
at
it proudly?
Church?
I don't know
or is it a walk of triumph?
Ooh,
you made it, man.
There it is. I will survive.
I will. You know what?
That's an environment right there.
Yeah.
Coming from the disco to church, like
Our pastor would say if you were at the club the night before, probably somebody needed to hear about Jesus.
Hey, man.
You were there for a purpose.
Yeah, to dance to some disco.
Exactly.
So, like with the disco, do you market this different? Are you going to market this album differently than previous albums? I mean, I'm trying to figure out how you get disco out during this time and what the market is for.
Especially anti-fascist disco when we've apparently elected a racist, fascist monster.
Well, I think it's great. I think it's great timing. I think that know we are in like music because Daft Punk, put out that what was that?
I don't look at me. I don't know what the fuck that.
The last album was like heavy disco. I think we're in an era where like music is experimenting with various eras or whatever. Like Childish Gambino just put out that that album whatever with like
it's
heavy,
like a funk album.
Yeah, heavy funk or whatever. People are a Tribe Called Quest came out and they have like and it sounds like a 90s mix type of so like I think it's a great
that healed
time.
my soul seeing them.
God, yeah.
And Chappelle on I haven't watched SNL in 20 years.
Yeah, me. I don't.
And I heard Tribe Called Quest and Chappelle are going to be on, and I'm like, okay, I'm going to watch that. And my husband made me watch it, Tommy and me, and it healed my soul. Just that moment, really did enough.
I think it's a great time to put out not only socially relevant music, but also to in a different era or whatever, and bringing that out. I think it would be ripe for that. I mean, I know I'd vibe
want
out.
Some more of the quad.
I mean, it's open.
Disco.
Yeah. We bringing the craft to the disco.
Was it because there's it got scary. She and I were promoting it, and we were promoting our fundraiser, our Indiegogo. Thank you. We're promoting our fundraiser, and we're all like, yeah, social justice disco. We're gonna fight fascists. Yay! F the racists. And like let's go. Here we go. Wee. And then all of a sudden we're like, that's never gonna happen, and then it happened.
Yeah, there weren't enough white women like you guys out there.
I hate to even laugh about that.
I'm crying
I
through
think I'm
the
gonna cry
tears.
about that.
Well, I mean, hopefully,
We're
it
hoping
just,
that our fans will. Like, we're hoping that our fans will hear us and listen. Like, I was walking around her show. She sold out Stage AE a couple weeks ago. Mayor Peduto came to call it Rusted Root Day. And
Shout out to Peduto, man.
Yeah.
Willie P bagging and tagging.
Willie P.
That's the homie.
He is. He booked
Yeah.
he booked our gospel choir to sing at his party a couple nights ago.
Oh, nice.
And she was there. So Liz was there playing with like
The all-star Pittsburgh
all-star
band.
Yinzer rock band. It was
Seriously,
like,
Donnie Iris.
I was gonna say,
Joe
was Donnie
Grishecki-
Iris there?
Donnie Iris and I were sharing the same microphone.
Yeah.
All
Oh
night.
wow. Yeah. Yeah. He's a Pittsburgh legend, man.
Joe Grishecki was there.
God, really?
Yeah.
We had Joe Grishecki down here for an Epicast event. Where's Buzzy at? Hey, Buzzy,
The first party they did?
Hey, remember we had Joe Grishecki down there and he did a song. Epicast Presents. Yeah, it was the first Epicast Presents, wasn't it? Yeah, he's a super cool dude, man. Very
He's a
laid
great
back.
guy. Scott Blasey.
All this Pittsburgh
Oh yeah, we
pride
played that
happening,
funky
man.
music.
I'm surrounded by all this Pittsburgh pride.
Down that bush.
Till you die.
So tell us a road story. I'm sure you guys have been on the road. That's the thing that I haven't been.
She's toured like well on the road. I toured in a dirty bus that smelled like pinch cigarettes and foot.
I toured.
That's the best way to tour, though. You got to be back to your roots. You got to
One
be
extreme to
grimy
the
at
other.
first.
I toured in a Prius with 5 people in it.
Wow.
So,
Sardine
Hey,
can.
at least you weren't paying that much for gas. I mean,
I don't know.
you got
Once
there on $6.
I don't care what kind of vehicle you have. When you got 5 motherfucking people and luggage in there,
grown-ass
it's gonna take there's like a minimum amount of
Should
gas it
never
takes
do that.
to transport 5 individuals and their
True.
baggage. Like,
Gas they make on the inside.
even if you had like somebody carrying you, like on one of them, yeah, means like there's a certain amount of food you got to put in that motherfucker, like the fuel. But nah, so I mean, tell us a road story because you got like.
Story. What kind of road story?
Well,
One that
time
you
I
think
was
is
out.
interesting.
Because I mean, you got these cans here on the road.
Yeah, I was not gonna bring it up on the podcast, but you brought some canned wine to the building, so I don't know how I feel about that.
I know. I'm a beer
She doesn't know how she
hater.
feels
I ruined beer. Beer was ruined for me at the very early age of probably like 13, 14.
Yeah.
That is
Cemetery,
way too early to give
warm
up on
keg
anything.
cemetery.
Did you drink in the
parties.
Wait, it
cemetery
was a
too?
warm keg cemetery
I used
party?
to drink in the cemetery.
Yeah, and it
Which
just-
cemetery
it
did you
ruined me
drink
for
in?
life.
If I drank a
fuck is
warm
going on?
keg of beer in a
Bloomfield?
cemetery,
You were in the Bloomfield Cemetery?
Yeah.
I was in the Homewood Cemetery.
Yeah.
Wait, is
There
this
were
like
others?
a thing? Is
Yeah, I
this
was
like
about
a
to say.
thing? Is this like
Wait.
is this a genre of party?
Young Jews in the 90s.
I knew white people party
Pittsburgh
different.
Jews.
God damn.
that is a first for me, and that
We're
is
honoring the dead.
Wait a minute.
Is that what it
Wait.
was?
We were honoring the dead.
Well, it
was-
ruined beer for all time because man, that keg was warm.
It might have ruined it for me if I was drinking in the cemetery. Might have just ruined.
You didn't drink in the
drinking.
cemetery?
and then a warm keg. In
I
the
just can't
cemetery?
drink. I just can't drink beer. It's just like
No,
that.
I don't blame you.
Like I'm
Again,
also done with
That's not a
tequila.
part of your
Like
heritage?
Patron. I'd had a Patron time period, and now I'm done. I'm done with Patron.
20-second timeout. Okay. How the fuck do these? Who organizes these parties? How is this?
Well, back in the
How is
90s,
this structured?
we had this thing. It was called a phone.
Who's like, hey yo,
and you would call
I got
somebody,
this spot
and you
in
would
the cemetery
you would
right
Yeah.
next to old man Jenkins' grave. We gonna bust that
Meet
shit
me at
out.
the
B.
oak tree.
And you be like,
It's
you
a
know
little-
what? Yeah, let me
it's a
call
little
the
bit like
homies.
that.
General
did all
Custer's
kind of
grave.
terrible things in the cemetery.
Roll this old ass keg in here.
It was like the half beat keg from his uncle's party or something that was like a week old or whatever.
That is the
They
beginning.
didn't
of a-
return it yet. So.
I used to be in a band that rehearsed in the cemetery.
Really?
Yeah, you remember Anthony
It has to be
Fugate?
available spaces.
Yeah.
So Anthony Fugate was this really great drummer. He would play along to a lot of DJs in town before he moved out west to become a farmer. But he
Grapes of wrath.
Interesting.
he was
transition.
Well, he's not a farmer. He's a
farmer.
Oh,
He's a very good
the
farmer.
new gold, the
he's
green rush.
The green rush.
So
He's only growing broccoli on his farm.
right.
when
He's
he
a
was-
broccoli farmer. He's a broccoli farmer.
but he used to be a security guard at Allegheny Cemetery.
That's the come up. I like those
And
that
kind
was
of
the
stories.
connect.
We would rehearse in the crypt.
Oh wow, that's
And we used to have
beautiful.
this band. It was like me, Simon Yeager, and we had like a slide didgeridoo player named Boo Boo.
Didgeridoo.
A slide didgeridoo. Yeah. And I wrote like the song I wrote was like an icon is an icon is an icon is an icon. You know, and like that was the only song I remember from that. I used to dance with my snake, and I had this golden glowing apple. You know, like you
You
did.
come a long way.
Golden
You come a long
She's been
way.
a lot of ways. She's been in a lot.
eating glowing apples in a cemetery with a didgeridoo.
To compliment you on your resourcefulness. Like Jewish people will milk every resource. All right, they took the cemetery security
Like, look
guard
at all of this
and
unused
flipped
space.
that into
Free rehearsal space.
free rehearsal space.
But he was a heck of a drummer.
Now
They
you
won't-
looking at a dude like, what can you do for me?
The people here won't mind.
You gotta be creative. You gotta be creative.
There's no noise ordinances in this neighborhood.
That
long
was
as-
it. None of the
as-
neighbors cared.
As long as we don't wake the dead, we're cool.
He would drive around once an hour to make sure that like people weren't like messing around in the thing, and then he'd come back and we an icon. He's an icon.
Hey, boo boo. Like this is. I don't even know if this story is true.
No, it's true. Because he went
It's
after
so
he
strange that it has to be
Yeah.
either that or you just tripped on some really good shrooms before you got on
What
the
happened
gas.
with this fucking
I work with the
aged
youth.
beer? Like I don't know.
I never drink.
You
Anybody will
could
tell
have
you.
shared a shroom. I'm
I'm just enjoying this lovely
cap or two.
libations with y'all.
Can I get a cap or two?
So platinum plaque.
Is it that aged victory?
Where's the weirdest place that you've rehearsed?
The weirdest place that I've rehearsed.
She owned a church.
Oh yeah.
She owned
no,
two
right
church.
now. So yeah. So
You
Mr.
owned a church?
Two
Well,
churches.
Mr.
Well, we
Smalls.
performed in her church.
Yeah,
did.
Mr. Small's
Yeah.
Theater
Yeah.
is in a Catholic church, but then about a year ago, we were blessed to be able to purchase the church across the street, which is the Methodist Church, and eventually we're going to be turning that into all this amazing stuff. But right now, it's like our private studio rehearsal space, and it's so beautiful.
So, okay, I don't even know what I want to add. Just Jewish people buying up like random churches and celebrating Kwanzaa. Like I'm confused as fuck. Nobody else in this room is mad confused.
Hey, man.
I didn't know how to approach the Jewish thing, but I feel like we've drunk now, so I need to like.
I feel like we've exhausted the funeral parties, but I still am like kind of hung up
honoring the
on that.
dead.
Like,
That is an African tradition, honoring the dead. That's not
that-
new.
oh, I feel
don't know.
you.
No.
Honoring
my,
the
my
ancestors.
husband's not Jewish. My husband's Italian Christian, but I don't know. It's just like we were blessed to be able to have the opportunity to purchase these two churches, and we were just
You
a
know
couple
what?
of idiot kids that were like, "Oh, let's do something."
Yeah, I mean,
You were
I'm all
inspired by
for-
Alice's restaurant.
I'm all for repurposing churches for useful things.
I mean,
Except
that's
for
all
at the end of the
altar.
day.
I didn't like going to the club at the church. I didn't like that altar in the strip. That was a little bit weird.
Well, they kind of try to capitalize on the sin, that's something we like.
Everybody
don't.
capitalizes on sin.
I mean, but when you buy a church and you really capitalize on let's go sin in the church, that's kind of
It might get
disrespectful.
old
It's a
after a
weird
while.
mindset.
You know?
Like,
Yeah, it's
that's a-
disrespectful. I mean, we really try to transform it into just more of like a theater atmosphere, and I think that everybody that comes through and performs every single time they're on the stage, they all say something about like how spiritually beautiful it is to be creating in this space.
I think
But-
I mean, if you keep it moving with the good vibes in general.
Yeah.
If you harp on negativity, eventually.
Yeah, but we're
it'll-
not gonna have like go-go dancers up dancing with crosses and shit like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, that's a little weird.
Yeah.
I mean, we
I
had
never
some
understood
go-go
a
dancers
go-go
last
dancer
week.
anyway.
Really?
Go-go dancer?
You don't like go-go dancers? They're just,
I don't know what I thought a go-go dancer was just the
like,
dancer
just
that
strip then.
that
But
danced
what
to
if?
go-go.
But I
Is
mean,
there-
like some things are for go-going, some things are for stripping.
What is go-go dancing?
That's
I mean-
I think it's when the chicks are up and they're like scantily clad. And
talking about, like, in the
just dancing.
cage?
Yeah, like they
Cage
Or in a
dancers?
box, like at Cavo. My good girlfriend Lita DeVargas is one of the regular dancers at
If you got enough energy
I think they're
to
just
dance in a
celebrating
motherfucking
strip,
box
dog.
all night, I'm cool with that.
She's
I
celebrating
just
the
want you to
sacred
just
divine.
strip. Like I'm
I
not trying
appreciate
to
that
watch
art
you
form.
dance.
She's embodying the goddess. She's celebrating
Oh
the
my
sacred
God!
divine.
I'm never gonna tell a woman not to move her body in any
She's
way.
fit,
yes,
man.
please.
You would not want to
Express-
cross her.
Express yourself.
She's
Like I'm all about
extremely
expression
fit.
of self in
She's
most
strong.
ways. It's especially positive. Yes, please.
She's like a
I
warrior
think right
goddess.
because y'all are both
With, like, pasties.
socially active females. You would prefer that they just strip. That's all I'm saying. I went to a club
See,
in
I don't- I
DC
mean,
and I was mad confused.
see, the
Like,
thing
why are
about-
you up there half naked?
Well,
Like, if you're just up there dancing, fine, but why are you half naked?
I mean, I don't.
Because she's feeling
stripping-
herself. She's feeling her sacred femininity.
Okay, all right.
I mean,
I just like
I'm-
to see her full femininity.
Or she might just be
all
trying
I'm
to
saying.
pay
Well,
the
you need to go to a
bills.
different club for that, evidently.
I don't know. I mean, strip clubs are cool. It's just, I don't know. For me, I'm like, I don't really want to even get all worked up just so, like I can like ride home with this chub. It's a waste of money and time. Like, whatever. Like, it's cool. That's nice to look at, but like, I
I
don't
mean,
need
you could
to
take care of it before you start driving.
See, that's you trying to get me arrested? Like, I mean,
No,
like,
I didn't think about
I don't know
that.
if your
You're
windows
right.
are
You're
tinted or
right.
not.
You're right. No,
Deals,
you're right.
With the strippers got Groupons, they be like,
A group.
I've
Groupons
never
or
seen anybody
strippers?
roll in
There's
the club with a
There's a
Groupon.
spank room somewhere.
I went to listen,
what is
man.
he talking
them-
about?
them
I'm not really
strippers
sure
be
how we
tired.
got here, but I'm trying to censor myself because I'm in a band with Liz Berlin and we teach children.
Oh.
So I'm trying. I mean,
Strippers
I could
exist,
say
and
some
of
stuff.
these children are going to grow up and go to strip clubs. These things are real. First of all, these children shouldn't
I
be
mean-
listening to this
No,
podcast.
That's
these
true.
children shouldn't be listening to this podcast. If you are a parent
Because
and
I
you're
produced
letting your
burlesque.
kids,
So my Merry Chris Mahana Kwanzaa show last week that I did at Liz's venue, the Fun House, which is a smaller venue inside of Mr. Smalls. It's like 175 capacity. It's beautiful open stage on Mondays, acoustic cafe. But I do my Chris Mahana Kwanzaa show, and I have burlesque dancers. I've been working with burlesque dancers who do actually strip for years. Lita DeVargas, Macabre Noir, but I also had some dancers that don't strip, that do belly dancing. Christina Maria Hammer, who have worked with Liz for many years as well, with Rusted Root. And they don't strip. And I've never actually seen a show where you put the belly dancers, who are generally speaking family friendly, with the strippers, who are absolutely not family friendly. Though I have done family friendly strip routines before, not me personally.
Stop here, 'cause you be trying to gloss over shit. What?
They went down for that show. The woman, this last show last week was not family friendly, but in the past when I have done family friendly shows, they didn't go down to they went down to like little shirts and little tap pants. They didn't go all the way down to like G-strings and pasties.
oh, like boy shorts and
Exactly.
like, yeah, like,
exactly. I mean, like you see
a-
more skimpy stuff just like on
a
TV.
beach. Yeah, just walking
Like
down
literally
the beach or
just
whatever.
flip on the TV and there'll be people wearing less,
Yeah, man.
you know, on any random television show.
I don't know. Family friendly stripping. I'd like to see that actually.
I mean, just look. Just look.
But you're not
This is it.
stripping. You're jiggling.
I'm stripping on the inside.
Word. All right, I'm gonna let that ride.
Celebrating sacred divinity, femininity, celebrating women and black people and native people and indigenous people and Muslims, and Jews and Hindus and woken white people. But not as much as I'm celebrating everybody else.
How do white people respond to your awakenedness? Like in general?
My white friends think I'm doing it. My white friends that I'm hanging out with are on the same page.
Okay. Well, you gotta.
The white people that I know that are not on the same page, sometimes they listen. I've actually gotten people to stop saying the N-word.
Yeah, you gotta save them.
I mean-
There was a I'd watch
throwing the N word around.
Yeah, I watched a TV channel, Vice or whatever, and they were saying how like there was an experiment where a guy went out and online trolling or whatever, like he had a white avatar and a black avatar, and like anytime somebody was saying like offensive things, he would like respond to them from either the black avatar or the white avatar and say, hey, maybe you shouldn't say that. And he said it was like 3 times as many people were more respondent to the white avatar than they were to the black avatar, which means that like if you want to really end, say, racism or whatever, like, in this specific case, it's better to have a white person say it, say, hey, this isn't right, as opposed to, coming from a black person, because when it came from a black person, they were more likely to continue to attack and use the word even more so than if, it came from people that look like them. And that's why, like, you look at intersectionalism, it matters, as a man, you have to look at, you have to be the catalyst of change, for feminism. You know what I mean? Like, it's one thing coming from you, but it's another thing coming from me and checking people, that look like that are me and look like me. Same way with racism. I mean, it's for white people to say, hey, you need to stop this, as opposed to, coming from us, because it just seems like we're butthurt. And it's, across, a rich person or a gay person or, whatever struggles or oppression that we're facing. Those people who, that are allies, it is up to us to, speak out on those fronts. So, I think.
Like allies and co-conspirators. That's the word I've been heard. Like, I don't want an ally. I want a co-conspirator. I want somebody that's going to fight, that's going to jump in front of me when I need to be jumped in front of, so that, it's not just getting people to stop saying the N-word or stop calling people B's and C's. It's about, making sure that people that have traditionally been marginalized get a voice, get a seat at the table, get their say, and their words are as heard and their stories are as heard.
No, everybody look at me. Am I the marginalized individual?
I was looking over at you and Liz, but my headphone was like, I didn't want to be all grandstanding.
No. That is we actually appreciate that. Like that's dope. I've always wondered about when you have white people who are quote unquote woke. Like how do their friends respond to it? Like how do they? Because do you ever find yourself wondering how people think, or wondering what people say in rooms that you're not in, or when you're not in that room, behind closed doors, how they really feel about what you say and how active you are on certain subjects and things like that? Or, I mean, I guess you surround yourself with individuals who are like-minded, but you never know. You never know, you know what I mean? Like, you never really know what somebody's. And I'm not saying your friends are that way. I'm just saying, I have been accused
by people oh, you're just an N lover. You just want your black people to think that you're that. Because they're sick and they're crazy and they're stupid.
Yeah, well, I mean, I
don't know. I mean, it's like.
But I get the same thing, being I'm not, I'm self-proclaimed feminist. I believe in, equity and the whole nine. But at the end of the day, I've had friends say oh, he's a feminist or whatever. So he think, he thinks differently, or he's just trying to be there for, as if you're like a social justice warrior. Like, you're just doing it to get likes.
That's exactly what it is.
And I think that's exactly what I'm
trying
to hard
to get across.
I think in this day and age, it's kind of difficult to find, because there are people who are trolls in that manner who really take advantage of
the Tommy Lorenz who are just saying shit to
Tommy
get a rise, and and they're just saying it to get a
Tommy. That girl, Tommy talks on the Fox News Network. That Tommy, that horrible, evil little
I don't think she's on Fox
Barbie.
Yet. I'm sure she's gunning for it.
She
will be at some point.
I thought she was on Fox.
Yeah. But she's on The Blaze right now. But she's definitely gunning for a Fox News position.
Yeah, The Blaze.
Black Lives Matter activists are just doing it for effect, and it's just no, they're doing it because people are getting killed.
Well, she's
we're blessed in
She makes her
Pittsburgh because
money,
we
though.
got Bill Peduto, putting people like Chief McClay in places of power. I mean, not since what happened to Leon Ford has happened in our city limits, and he didn't die. He's still alive. He's paralyzed, but he was our last victim, and that was before Peduto took office. Racial profiling by police that led to being shot. And we haven't had anybody in the city limits in Pittsburgh. We haven't had a Johnny Gamage. We had Bruce Kelly Jr., but he was in Wilkesburg just outside city limits. And it was Pat cops. It wasn't city cops. It wasn't Wilkesburg cops. It wasn't. And we in Pittsburgh have the Hines Endowments, which is paying to train our cops to learn about how you don't always have to just go straight for the gun and start shooting because they're a different color. It's people are trying to wake in this city, but the whole, there's a lot of, it's we have to, white people have to engage other white people, because black people don't need to know that racism needs to end. Women don't need to know sexism needs to end. Gay people don't need to know that homophobia needs to end. Like it's the white people and the men and the straight people that need to learn to get along with everybody else.
Yeah, I apologize because I know you guys work with kids and the whole 9-year-old have reputation. I personally, for the on behalf of myself, Dave Bracey, not even the drinking partners, because I don't know how Ed feels about it, but I just want to say fuck the Pittsburgh police for pushing McClay out. That was some bullshit. I think that and Peduto has been vocal about that as well himself. And I think that was a terrible move, in our city because, like you said, we are moving. We're trying to push forward and, become more, neighborhood aware and engaging, the community. And, you're starting to see cops become held accountable and community efforts being put forth, and you start to see change. And for whatever reason, it doesn't work for the system that you're used to, you're comfortable at, and to push him out was a disgrace. So I meant to say that about a month ago, and it's sometimes we drink and we forget shit. But
well, the first time I ever met
drink.
McClay was at the summit. Was at the Summit Against Racism. I mean, the Summit Against Racism. He wasn't even in office a month when I first met him there, and he just went straight there, and he was walking around talking to people. It's just like he wanted to hear, and I hope that whoever takes the job next can be a tenth as conscious as he was.
Yeah. I mean, shout out to Peduto. I mean, he's been very, very, very vigilant, in the whole matter, and very outspoken as well. So shout out to Willie P.
Bagging and tagging.
I used to sing to him. He actually quit running for office. I can't talk. No, I can't mention that one.
Willie P told us some stories. I mean, you can't start the story and not finish it.
Bagging and tagging.
Okay, so all right. This is years ago when I was young. It was when he was still running against Ravenstall before he dropped out and then ran again.
Luke.
So,
Are you sure about this? Just debating.
Well, you started it. Like, it's okay.
You did start it.
It happened.
I know drinking. That's why I don't drink and get on the microphone.
That's why they have this
That's why we
show.
invited you.
It's gold
He
right
dropped
here.
out of that race the day after I sang at a little benefit for him in Bloomfield. And we had this little benefit for him. It was organized by like art people, and he had just, he came out to speak, and I got so excited by local democracy and his message that I whipped my shirt off and I streaked through the audience, and I ran out on Penn Avenue, and I'm like, everybody vote for Peduto.
So this is not family friendly strip.
And then he dropped out the next day. So years later, when he asked me to sing it at one of his holiday functions after we'd become bona fide and legit, he said, "Now just keep your shirt on for this one, okay?" And I was like, "I'm sorry, democracy just excites me so."
Hey, fellas, get you a woman that gets excited by democracy.
Hey, man, we need to support like that. Like, we've never had anybody that was willing to go topless for drinking partners and our causes.
And he's going to feed you more drinks.
Yeah.
So what am I drinking
that
now?
earned,
Is that the milk stout?
This is a Lancaster milk stout.
Lancaster,
from the Lancaster Brewing Company, man. I haven't had it. How is it? I mean, you can tell us how you. I figured, since you don't drink beer on a regular basis, that you might like more of.
It's tasty.
Yeah, I mean, like something. Because
it tastes like honest Amish.
Stout brewed with milk sugar, so a little sweet. I mean, probably a little chocolatey. Yeah.
I like chocolate.
Yeah. So you can't go wrong with it. See, for those listening,
wait, her husband's here. Let's keep it PG.
For those listening, man, and like if you're just coming to the cast because we have these two exceptional artists on, and you're like, oh, okay, I'll give it a listen, and you don't really know much about beer in general, and you think craft beer, like I don't really, because that shit tastes terrible. There's a beer out there for you. I mean, there's so many beers with so many palates. I mean, like over the last 2 years, I mean, you've got sweets and you've got bitters and you've got spices and you got sours. I mean, so if you like taste, there's probably a beer out there for you. And as has just been, because Fat Man D came through, she was like, I don't really do beer. And here she is on her second different beer to podcast, and she's enjoyed both of those.
Back on beer.
So
we got to get you back on beer.
I don't know what that will take.
We should do a podcast in a cemetery.
No.
This time we'll bring good beer.
We're done with cemeteries. I don't even like going to cemeteries at all. I don't even go to the cemetery after a funeral.
Can
like,
Vicini's sponsor a cemetery show?
can we not discuss doing a cemetery show? Like, I don't want to do that.
He wants off that
It
day.
would be
he's
fun
not.
though if we went and
Gotta get
somebody
a
was
guest
like,
host.
get there, somebody's practicing. Like, oh, this shit still happens. We got to get Liz on some craft, man. You got to get off that. I don't drink. I mean, you're drinking wine out of a
I'm
can.
trying to,
like,
you know,
can't
respect.
go
I'm
any
trying
lower
to drink
than
with
that.
you. I don't know.
Oh, no, you're
I
Good,
just don't
we
like.
like to mess with people.
We have to mess
Maybe
with
there's a beer for me. I don't know.
I'm
There's
sure there's a
definitely
How do I
beer,
find
yeah.
that out?
Oh well, you go
Get
to
you
a
a session.
Yeah, you go to a bar that knows their shit, and you say, "Hey, I like this flavor," and they'll probably pour something that's your flavor, and you'll be like, "You know what? I'm in this now." You know?
All right.
Yeah, like
try that.
lambics. Lambics are a huge thing. They're sweeter.
Yeah, I like sweet things.
I had some lambics once. They were La Bière Framboise. When I was in France, I was staying in this beautiful family from Saint Martinique, and drinking age was like 16. So they're like, we're going to the bar, and I'm like, I can't go to the bar. They're like, yeah, you can. And I was like, what are you talking about? So I got there and I had like Belgian fruit beer.
Mm-hmm. And then,
All right,
and
let me
then
try that.
fruity and little, yeah.
Es muy delicioso. But if I'd said
Yeah,
that
I
there,
mean-
they wouldn't have known what I was saying.
To be honest, I didn't drink craft before this podcast, so I'm going to be an advocate of the craft and say that you
And
should
now
try
he
it.
actually like knows shit, man.
I
He
don't
goes
know
out and
nothing.
picks out like
I don't know
cases these days. Like,
I knows nothing. I just sit here and listen to Day rant about beer and how
Our
if you like
guitarist
taste.
is standing over there. Is he drinking? Is our guitarist drinking?
have
Mark,
you been drinking?
Why are you not
I
drinking?
hope you've been drinking, man.
You're just standing. Do you need a
This
seat?
podcast
Mark
is not
F.
From my understanding,
Strickland.
you're
We
not
got Mark
DDing
F.
today.
Strickland in the
so-
Mark
studio.
Effin
Yeah, well then I
Strickland.
hope you've been drinking.
He's gonna be.
All right.
My
all
poor
right.
husband's not drinking. He's the driver.
You know what? She's gonna
Thank
make it
you,
up to you after the
Tommy.
cat podcast. I
Whoa.
guarantee.
Whoa.
We're gonna go ahead and I'm gonna promise that for you. Thank you, but I'm sorry. That's not that's not a
not your
feminist
place.
thing to do.
That is not.
It's not a
all that
feminist
shit
thing
you
to
was
do.
talking.
I
And you offering
apologize.
sexual favors.
But it might happen.
He's got that I'm excited for the sex later posture.
Yeah, he had that. He had that plan. Like, I'm a DD. Oh, okay.
Tapping his toes over there. He's very eager for this podcast to be over.
I can't
He's
wait
like,
till
I
you bring
love-
on his rock band.
I love when she gets all socially conscious. Turns me on.
So are you both married to artists?
Democracy.
Yeah. We both are.
How is
actually.
that really? I'm always interested.
And
to
different genres, right? Different genres.
Yeah,
of
my
music.
husband. My husband was in a band called Out of the Blue, and when we met, and then he was in a band called Crisis Car, Love's Gun Shop, and now we're in a band together called Drowning Clowns, which is really wonderful to be in a band together.
Horrifying for me because I used to be a clown.
Yeah. Like really, like a.
In a punk rock circus sideshow, I thought I was a clown more
Yo,
than
fuck
I was
clowns.
actually.
Can I just say that? And I don't really have nothing against. Yo, fuck a clown. I don't
Were
even.
you afraid? Did you
well,
see
you know,
Killer
clowns
Clowns?
originally were making fun of black
It-
people. Originally.
What? Really?
Yeah.
I never read that.
That's why,
not
they have,
real-
that's why they have those lips and shit like that. Like originally, they were created to make fun of. They were caricatures of Negroes.
I'm gonna have to
So
Google-
fuck
Well,
clowns
we're
for that.
drowning
I
And
didn't
them.
know that.
Clowns
Yeah,
are
she's
scary
drowning
as
clowns.
shit.
We're drowning them.
They're not scary as shit.
I always remember
I'll
the
beat a
secretly
clown.
scary as
I'll
shit.
beat a clown. And that is, I don't give. That's the
That's
one thing
not
that I
what
feel
I ever-
comfortable.
I'm sorry about
throwing
that.
a
Run
fist
up on a
at.
clown if
Hey,
you want to. This
I'll-
motherfucker got acid in that little flower. Big ass shoes. You seen homie? You ever see Are You Afraid of the Dark on Snick?
Yeah.
And they had that fucking clown.
Or
was
is
killing
Stephen King's
people.
It and
Yeah,
Attack of the
nah.
Killer Clown? I've seen all
Fuck
the
a
shit,
clown.
but you don't strike fear. That is the one. Even if it was like a 6'8", 350 pound. If you got clown makeup on, I just feel comfortable punching you in the face. Like
Yeah.
if it goes to that, like something.
Socially, it has
It's
been-
inviting. if
Socially,
you
it's
pop
become
off.
inappropriate to be a clown in public anymore because too many people are.
public?
Well, yeah, because you got all these creepy clowns like actually
Oh
doing
yeah, they
horrible
was
things
beating the shit
happening.
out of
Yeah, they
clowns.
changed. They
You know, like clowns aren't. See, I
But I've
learned about
never-
clowning as the sacred art of the fool that pokes fun at the establishment. Like the clown, like the original fools, like the court jesters, they would tie
Comedians.
like pig platters onto the ends of like sticks, their fool stick, and they would like whap the aristocracy with like these giant pig bladders filled with noxious liquids.
Well, yeah, I mean-
and they would whap like finely dressed people, like the rich people, like whap with gross, urine and stuff. I mean, like those are good times. But I don't remember it.
man. I
If
don't
I
play
had
with
known
urine.
that it was a caricature of African people, I would have never been down.
I mean, you got the court jesters and shit like that or whatever. But then you have, like I said, I mean, even the comedians. I mean, we are jesters and like one of my favorite clown of all time is the Joker. I mean, he is like the crown prince of
And
comedy.
you're not scared of the Joker.
I admire him. I
Joker's
I
scary
admire
as
his
shit, man.
He is scary
He
as
killed
fuck,
a dude
but
with a pencil.
he has a message, and he's an anarchist, like through and through. And I mean, you can look at, like, granted, he's completely deranged and twisted, but the message of that anarchy and chaos and disorder or whatever, that's that's a power thing. And you look at comedians, and that's how we get our message across. Like, we disrupt the room, we cause laughter, we cause an involuntary reaction from your body. You don't. You know what I mean? Like, you don't laugh because you're like, unless it's a fake laugh, you be like, ha, ha, I'm gonna laugh. You're just sitting there, you're listening to some shit, and then out of nowhere, you're like, ha, and this sound comes out of you. You know what I mean? Like, for us, that's what we do in general, is create chaos and disorder.
Yeah, but I don't.
And we poke
Clowns.
fun at the way things should
If
be.
you're good, and that's, we've had
Yeah.
this conversation on the podcast, as comedians and the greats that we that we admire or whatever, is like the ones that actually had a purpose. And like, back, like you said, back in the day, the clowns, they had a message with that. It wasn't just like, oh, I'm going to show up to a kid's party and like honk a nose. Like, you're talking about the early,
I wasn't that kind of clown.
Yeah.
And Liz is actively drowning them with her husband, who also was one of the first famous skateboarders.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was.
He was a vert skater back in the late 80s.
So you tamed the bad boy.
He might have tamed me because I was a rock star. I was like an aspiring rock
triple
star.
platinum, dog.
Yeah.
Triple platinum.
And then I'm married to one of Pittsburgh's premier rock and rollers, Tommy Amoeba, the lowest form of life. He started a rock band when he was 40, and they put out one album called "This Is Only a Test," and they're delightful. He has costume changes, and I could sing you his theme song if you want.
Yes, sing the theme song.
This is my husband's theme song. He was formed in primordial ooze when chemicals merged and something grew. He split in two and then in four. So now today there's a whole lot more. Viva amoeba, the lowest form of life. Tommy amoeba, I'll make it all right. Others evolved to higher forms. The dodo bird and the dinosaur. The human being. And cockapoo. Tommy remains to himself true. Viva amoeba, the lowest form of life. Tommy amoeba, you'll make it all right. Viva amoeba, viva amoeba, Tommy amoeba, and the spiders from Mars.
Yeah, Viva Amoeba.
Wait, who wrote that?
Oh, he did.
You wrote. So you make your wife sing that to you.
Oh my God,
Before
that is
bed?
that is an anthem.
That's the post-supper song. Before we go to
Well, it's
bed.
either that or it's
Babe,
my theme
lace me
song.
with the track. Viva, viva. Yo, I gotta get wifey to write me
that
a
is
song.
gorgeous.
Yeah, everybody needs
Hell.
their own theme song.
Shit,
Fuck
that is
yeah.
fuck. Now I feel like I'm failing in life.
don't
I ain't
have
got
a
a theme
theme- I
song
don't have one
nearly
either.
as amazing.
Oh, I got a theme song.
Viva
Mine's called
Amoeba,
Hey
man.
Fat Chick.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, mine's Hey Fat Chick. Should I sing you just the chorus of that one?
Sure.
Because it's
Sing
long.
whatever you want to sing.
Hey, fat chick, you got it coming to you. Hey, fat chick, what? You got it coming to you. Hey, fat chick, ow, you had it coming to you. And there's a whole party.
Sounds like a sitcom. Sitcom music right there.
Truth.
Yo, I like how the way you play with your voice is dope. Like,
Oh, that's the difference between a jazz vocalist and a regular vocalist. Like a jazz vocalist is trying to play their voice like a jazz musician would play their instrument. So there's like an instrument, and that was influenced by Billie Holiday. Like if you listen to a lot of early Billie Holiday, she was the first singer to not just sing the song, but who was influenced by the members of her band and her musical community to sound like an instrument.
Yeah, she does get that. Yeah.
So you want to sound like a flute or a saxophone or, a bass or something. There's like a lot
Wow.
of tones that you could work with in a human voice.
And then as a rocker, what's your motivation? You just trying to get people to rock out?
I don't know. I mean, I guess I just try to push my voice. I was raised as a classical singer, so
Okay.
I was like singing with like the symphony and stuff like that. And so then when I joined my band and in my last many years of development, I just try to push the boundaries and try to find my head voice, my chest voice, and try to find like where I can express my emotion through my
Your
voice.
chest voice.
Yeah, like head voice is like like all the classical stuff, But the chest voice is like when you're wailing, when you're belting.
Yeah.
you know.
Is that a falsetto? Is that the same
Is
thing?
it head
What's
voice or falsetto?
Falsetto is more for guys, like when they're singing really high, that's a falsetto.
Oh,
Women
that's
don't
dude,
really
like the
have a
dream.
falsetto. For women, it's either chest voice or head voice.
Oh.
But I guess the head voice would be like the same as the falsetto for guys.
Yeah, okay. I
You know?
picked up
Yeah,
on
because
that.
because you can hear that. I guess I didn't know the term like the head voice, chest
Yeah.
voice, but there's that like that heavy you get it. You know what I mean, like
There's
with
emotion
the
in that chest voice.
like what is it, Adele, like with the and that like that.
Yeah,
What did you
she
say
hurt.
with the jazz and the blues or whatever, where you get that like that gritty, like I guess that's the chest, and then like the head is the
When
prettier.
she's up on the high
Singing
notes.
from your heart with
and
that
the-
chest
and you
voice.
hit them high notes with the Mariah Careys.
She's showing, Mariah was showing out. She wasn't really feeling the music. She was just showing out.
I saw her on
I
TV.
can't do those air notes.
Oh, you can do it.
Liz can get them.
No, that's not actually a note. That's
My friend Stevie Wellens. I don't know if you ever hear Stevie Wellens band. She's a local R&B singer.
Yeah.
She can hit those. I
Yeah,
sing in a group with her.
Oh
She-
yeah, I saw her live. I don't know if it was down at what's that bar over in Beaver? Woolly Bullies. Yeah, it's like this. They have a lot of.
Last time I saw
blues.
her at a bar was at the Spot in Penn Hills.
Yeah.
Really? She was up at the spot?
She was at the Spot.
The spot can be so many different things.
I could not get
Like,
served at the Spot until she gave me a pass.
I love
They
the
would not
Spot.
even look at me at the Spot.
Wow.
And then she went to the bartender. She said, "No, this is my friend." And then all of a sudden, I had no
You
problem.
know,
cool,
the
you're
spot,
at the
they was a
end.
little
It's
bit.
okay. It's okay. All right. It's all
They
right.
on edge up at the spot. They got fried chicken in the back, so they ain't really just.
I didn't really try the fried chicken.
You should have.
I'll have to go back.
I go to all spots that have fried
If
chicken.
you got fried chicken on the menu, I'm gonna try it.
Yeah.
Like, just me. Like I'm gonna just at least give it a. Cause
You got a
it's-
bar and fried chicken?
Yeah.
My favorite
that.
place for fried chicken is Birdie's.
Birdies. Where's that at?
It's in Homewood.
Man.
They
Oh,
got
that makes
some
sense.
good-ass
Yeah,
fried chicken
yeah,
at
there's a hood. Yeah, there's a hood. Actually, yeah.
They serve it in like if you get a box of chicken, they put it in like the old school cake box with the string and the paper, and it's just
That's
like
how you know you're getting a present.
that's what it
Yeah,
feels
man,
like.
that's
You can see
exactly-
the grease at the bottom of the box. It's about to fall through.
And it's a full wing. It's not like a wing ding.
That
you know what?
bullshit.
Full
Like
wing.
you know it came off a bird for real. Something died.
That just triggered me because I had ordered some motherfucking jumbo wings, right? And I thought jumbo meant like full wings.
That's what it
because it
should
had it on the menu. It said wingdings, and then it said jumbo wings, and I was like, oh, that means like the full dips. But it was just fat wingdings. No, motherfucker, don't. Why do you even distinguish that shit?
How do you like get the wing ding to be fat?
I
Like,
don't
did
even-
the poor
exactly.
chicken never get to
GMOs.
walk?
How do I
that
know
what
this
it's
is a different? Unless I order both side by side, how do I even know this is fatter than a regular? I'm sorry.
And
you
what's
took
up
me
with
in a
like
place.
boneless wings? Like
That's
those
just
that's
like-
aren't wings.
That's a lie. That's a lie. It's like same thing like
I like boneless wings.
I like them, but
Turkey
they're not
bacon.
wings.
turkey bacon
They're
is
tenders.
They're
Exactly.
nuggets. They're like nuggets.
It's
It's
just
cut
meat
up breast.
with sauce.
They're tenders.
Pause. I like meat with sauce. On a
It's
late
cool.
night drunk.
Yeah,
Get you some,
but
I'm
just
not
don't
trying
call
to
it.
eat
Don't call
around
it
the bone.
wings. Don't call it wings. Don't call turkey bacon. Don't call soy
Whoa.
meat. It's not like if you're gonna eat it, just call it what it is. Why, like, you know what I mean?
I
Be
do
yourself.
eat turkey bacon.
As an artist, I think you know what I mean. Like you should be yourself, and I think that you folks personify that.
So what should turkey bacon be called? Turkey strips?
Random parts.
Random parts of a turkey.
It should be called anything 'cause
Franken
it
meat.
tastes nasty.
It's Franken meat. It's a bunch of parts of the turkey that they pasted together to look like it's Franken meat.
So it's like-
That's a more accurate description of
Franken
it.
meat. Well,
Franken
I
meat.
eat some franken meat. 'Cause
Yeah.
I don't eat pork.
I mean, there's no soy burgers. This is just.
Oh, do you keep kosher?
I don't eat pork because wifey won't make pork. So I never.
We
really
Jews
made
aren't
a-
supposed to eat pork because it has a cloven hoof.
I mean, technically, nobody's supposed to eat pork like that's in the Abrahamic religions. Like
Exactly,
if you
exactly, and that's
follow-
like my point.
Yeah, like nobody's supposed to
The
do
major
it.
Western religions, the Muslims and the Christians and the Jews, it's all from the same family
all the same.
branch of
It's-
crazy people from the
it's
desert.
Star Wars, it's Return of the Jedi, and Empire Strikes Back. Like it's those
And
three.
Dune.
It's all the same shit. It's all the same book.
Muad'Dib.
It's just different chapters of the same shit.
Muad'Dib.
Yeah. I mean, like, basically, Luke Skywalker is Jesus. Yeah, I mean, like, it's the same story told over and over again throughout the ages. And yet,
Walk in the light, the beautiful light. Come all around us by day and by night. Shine all around us the beautiful sight. Jesus or Han Solo, the light of the world. I'm going to burn on that one. My pastor's going to be like, yeah, that was not all right.
Pastor's not listening to this podcast.
He might, you don't know.
Jesus had a
Well,
lightsaber.
he should.
You don't know. He's
You heard it
he's
here
a
first.
wild and beautiful man.
So we're going to. Are we going to get like some music? Is
Yeah,
I think
so
that's the
you guys
plan.
are
We're
gonna
getting some.
Play.
Yeah.
Are you guys in playing form? Because I remember before the podcast, you guys were like, I don't know about all that.
Fat Man
Are
D
you-
is ready. She's
Oh,
already.
yeah,
she
she's
done
ready.
warmed
I
up them
feel like
vocal
she-
folds.
yeah.
Liz over here,
Yeah.
she been wanting to break up, but then she brought out the I'm better than you coat.
I'm
Like,
excited. Yeah, that is.
she swagged up on
yeah,
us.
that's not a
very
thrift
much-
find.
yeah, that's-
That was,
Actually, I did buy this at the thrift store.
Really?
Yeah.
That is a hell of a find.
1 year after it came out at Target, and I didn't buy it because it was too expensive.
Nice.
And I was like,
That is
that's
a
fucking
hell of-
swagged up
that
on
is a
us.
hell of a come up. That I mean,
Right?
I'm a thrifter myself.
Yeah.
So I
This was
appreciate
$3 at a Goodwill in New Orleans.
Nice. You
My
know what I mean?
jacket, $3.
In New Orleans. Yo, like I went out to LA to the thrift out there, and it's completely different. They had like 3 floors of thrift. I was like, holy fuck.
For me, what it is
There's a whole
is
floor for men.
as a fat woman, it is hard to find good looking clothes in Pittsburgh at the Goodwill. But you go down to New Orleans, they know how to eat, they know how to party, they know how to dress, and they die young.
As a
So you can get a lot of great clothes.
yeah, nice.
Coming up on people dying young. That's the
Wow.
that's the American way.
I'm so sorry. That's
kind of terrible, Mandy. But
is
you do
really
look
terrible.
good, though. I mean,
They live life
She
to the
does look
fullest,
good.
man.
I mean, come on now. You can't eat that much. I mean, like, have you ever eaten down in New Orleans? Like, the food
Yeah, I
is
did.
delicious.
Yeah. I had some.
And it
I had some
won't-
crocodile down, not crocodile, but alligator. Some gator soup and some gator.
Okay,
you know,
that
with the
might probably be
ramelon
all
and
right.
that.
That'd be all
Yeah.
right, you know, because
Some frog
gator's a
legs.
lean meat. Frogs are a lean
Yeah,
meat.
well, if you get the right part,
but
because
I'm
I
like,
tried to
come
have.
like boudin, like that crazy sausage they eat, and like,
That's I
you
didn't get
know,
the- I
that
didn't
is a
get
group
the-
of people that are not trying to like.
No, they eating for
No.
pleasure.
Eat some
They
kale.
eating for pleasure out there.
And
They're
that's
not eating kale.
exactly. Well, no, they are eating kale. They're just not cooking it the same way. Like they've got some fat back in that bitch, like a little.
I do like fat back.
Yeah, a little some. You know,
I'm a
hog.
bad
You know,
Jew.
yeah, they you know they put some pork in there, some bull. Yeah, they make it right. It's not like
I mean,
we're gonna
fat back
blend
is
this
like
up in a
just
smoothie.
deep fried fat. It's delicious.
It is so.
Are we singing?
Yes.
Well, you gotta
I
let the
think
people
we
know
will.
where
first,
they can
yeah.
find you first
First,
before
yeah.
you start breaking out in the song.
So first, let us know one what you guys got going on coming up, and 2 where they can find you.
I think the best place to find us right now would be just on Facebook. Just type in Social Justice Disco and our page will come right up. You can find links to our Indiegogo campaign and some of our songs that we've released. We put out one song already called Fourth Reich Rising, and we put out a lyric video for that we filmed at the Funhouse. So you can go find them.
Yeah, Facebook. And I mean, Liz is on Twitter. I'm on Twitter. She's Liz Berlin on Twitter. I'm Fat Mandy, Phatmam. So I can't remember how to spell my name. Phatmandee. I'm on Twitter and Instagram. She's Liz_Berlin on Instagram. And Facebook is probably the best way to keep track of the Social Justice Disco Project. And yeah, we'll be doing a show with We Rock Workshop, our students through We Rock in May at Mr. Small's Theater. So if you want to see our work with the youth that we met through Department of Human Services foster care program. And if you have a child or you yourself want to learn how to play some music and you're not in foster care, come on by Afro American Music Institute in Homewood. and follow us on Facebook and keep an eye out for Social Justice Disco. We're recording right now, so we're not done with the record yet, but we'll be done and have it released in spring. So we'll make a big announcement when we're gonna have our CD release party and celebration, and y'all definitely be invited for that.
Nice. I just want to say thank you for having. We actually hosted the Layer Cake Festival.
Yes.
It was at Mr. Smalls.
Oh yeah.
It was an amazing experience.
Did you know my friend Hollywood? Did you see Hollywood?
Hollywood, we had her on the show.
Dr. Hollywood.
Exactly, Dr.
Dr. Hollywood. Yes, I forget what
She was on 40 something.
She's running a school with my little
40-something.
sister. Didn't you meet my little
Damn it, I
sister
wasn't
Elizabeth? But
No, I know. We're friends on Facebook. I've been friends with her for the longest time on Facebook. I think I may have met her once in real life, actually, but like she's always on. And they're social, they are. I mean, they're some of my favorite people.
Thank you.
Dr. Hollywood. Shout out to Hollywood, man.
Hollywood and my
go.
sister Beth Kibowitz.
Truth. Shout out to the Kibowitz family. You know what I mean? Like, but yeah, no, Layer Cake was dope. That whole experience was amazing, and we appreciate what you do down there and pushing the arts forward, because that's one of my favorite venues in the city. And like I get to see Wu-Tang down there, and I saw I saw Mike Posner, I think, or something like that. But I mean, it's such a great space, and like being on stage down there was like, oh shit, I'm here. Like, so I appreciate that.
Awesome.
Yeah, we definitely we had a good time there. We was fucking faded. People were painting while we were up. It was a dope experience, man.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to that next year. Hollywood, episode 61.
61.
Definitely want to thank you two for coming and sitting down and conversing with us, enjoying this good beer. We couldn't get Liz to drink any.
I'll work on that.
But soon enough, we'll have you on that craft. We'll get her on that craft soon.
And we're going to hear her voice here shortly, which is going to be
Hey, so
amazing.
you sell craft beer at Mr. Smalls, don't you?
Yeah, we have all
brewery?
different kinds.
Well, you need to just sample.
I do need to just
sample a little bit
taste test
of craft. Definitely looking forward to the Social Justice Disco album. I'm going to go find me some clogs with a goldfish in them soon.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be all the way ready.
Yeah. Use a real
comes up.
goldfish. Get like a plastic goldfish.
Well, yeah, I'm not
Or
gonna.
one
I'm not
woven
gonna,
out of hemp, preferably.
Right, I'm not gonna capture a goldfish and enslave it. Like
Slave
Watch
a
it
goldfish.
die in your closet.
yeah,
like.
dye in my clogs and shit. Like kill a goldfish for the sake of fashion. I'm not gonna do that. But no,
But come
thank you
dressed,
guys.
that'd be good.
Thank you guys for coming out.
Yeah.
Looking forward to hearing you sing here, and looking forward to that album. Dave, let the people know where they can find us.
Before we get into that, I want to shout out Vecini's once again for bringing this dope ass brew, this milk
He's
stout from
happy about
Lancaster,
that victory.
and that
It's
goddamn
really good.
victory. That victory
so
was
happy about that victory.
like it was aged and it was beautiful, and
It was aged and it was beautiful.
so shout out to Vecini's for that, man.
Many things get better when they're older.
And
We gotta-
marinate it.
We're gonna have to
Wow.
contract Fat Man D for like a song for the victory.
Roof. That
we'll do it.
that deserves its own theme song.
Titled
in and of
Aged
itself.
and Beautiful.
Yeah.
And beautiful.
Draped in luxury.
You know who already got a song about being beautiful and old is my girl Christiana D. Do you know Christiana?
Do not know Christiana
Oh,
D.
you should have her on this program.
Oh, yeah.
She lives up around the corner on the other direction. She's at the Arts Council, and she
We're
has
trying to get in some work with them.
beautiful.
Yeah,
She's the
yeah.
artist liaisons
gotta.
officer, and she wrote a lot of songs for me. And she has a song. It's gonna come to me. It's I'm gonna have to look on my machine.
Word. Well, if she's listening, hit us up. In fact, I'm gonna hit you up. After
Christiana
this.
D.
Yeah, I mean, Arts Council and whatnot. Shout out to that. Also, Hooch. I don't know if you guys know
fuck, the
about
Hooch
this.
app.
Yeah, I don't know if you guys know about this, right? But download this Hooch app, right? It costs you $1 if you use our our code DRINKPOD. That's DRINKPOD. It's small. So you gotta, for some reason, you gotta have a small space or whatever. Yeah, I mean
Because it's coming up. Like it was the grassroots of it. So we're gonna start with the
we're gonna
lowercase,
start,
humble
lowercase,
beginnings.
lowercase drink pod right now. You download this app for $1, and you get 30 free drinks. All right, that's a free
That's
drink.
not an exaggeration.
That's not an exaggeration. There's a free drink a
30
day
drinks.
at various spots in your area. You download this app, and once a day for a month, you get a free drink. That's 30 drinks for $1 if you use DrinkPod. All right. So download the app, and we're pushing that because they're sponsors of the cast. Some of that money goes back to help us out. So if you're a supporter of the cast and you want to keep this thing going, we appreciate download Hooch app. 30 free drinks, 30 drinks for $1.
Think about this. Like, if you ever seen Half Baked and Dave Chappelle was taking that girl out on a date, had he had the Hooch application,
he could have got another hot dog. He could have got a little cheese.
Could have got 2 hot dogs and a free drink for sure.
Truth.
Boom.
That would have. Ooh, you know what I mean?
So for all you ballers on the budget.
And I don't know
all
if
you Max on the budget.
I don't know if you know about if you're just listening for the first time. I don't know if you know about this podcast, but what we do is we make it very easy and affordable to drink.
We think drinking is awesome,
yes,
and it shouldn't be expensive, but you should drink well. So Hooch app, look for it in your neighborhood, in your area.
Yeah,
download the application.
Google Play, iTunes,
$1.
all that. I mean, Google again the Hooch app, and use DrinkPod, and that's 30 drinks for $1, man.
I think we've taken care of all the sponsors.
I think we're all good, man. I think we can get out of here.
Contractually bound
Truth.
Some sponsors, and shout out to all of them for supporting the cast. We got some great sponsors, man.
Yeah, no, I mean it's we've been doing it for a while, or whatever, and it costs to do this. I mean, so we appreciate you all listening and supporting. You know what I mean, and we wouldn't be able to get here without you guys. And thank you for going through all that. I mean, because it helps us keep going. And if you're looking for us,
I knew I was about to say that.
You're Googleable.
We are Googleable. Yeah, you can definitely.
Googleable.
Yeah,
Say that
it'll be us for the
sometimes.
first two, and then T-Pain will come up because he has a song called "Drinking Partners." You know what I mean? But we outclassed T-Pain, so we feel good about that.
Yeah,
you know
man.
what I mean?
There's no grill.
Yeah,
And
so
we outdid T-Pain.
True. If you're looking for us, you can find us on epicastnetwork.com/partnerspod. You can find us on IG, Twitter, and Facebook at PartnersPod. And you can find us on iTunes, Stitcher, Libsyn, and Google Play under Drinking Partners.
Hey, listen, we're going to end this cast on a very high note. Got some music coming from
I'm
Liz
excited.
Berlin and Fat Man D. So stick around, listen up, and enjoy yourself. And thank you, as always, for listening to the cast. Drinking Partners is the crew, Epicast is the family. And we out.
There it is.
Now I'm like, ooh, really? I don't know. For some reason, I didn't want an outro because we're going to be playing music. And I was like,
Could a fourth night be arising? Cause the terrorists are here. The fourth night arising. They've been living here for years. They're the ones who all be lying from their tongues to our ears. Telling them build a kingdom based on ignorance and fear. They raise up all the masses who refuse to try to think. Pass around the poison, people light up and they drink. They're the men in the mirrors and they're shouting at themselves, screaming at the murder they've been stacking on the shelves. Selling hate for Christmas, burning crosses across the land. I promise you I know the gods, this is not their plan. Big man yelling loud, put on that yellow star. He will shoot you if he sees you, he won't let you get far. Yellow star of yesterday's Trump's voting president of the day. Branding all the Muslims, the Mexicans, that's not the way. Forget them who were here first and we're all refugees. But didn't even your Jesus say love thy neighbor as the way to be? Yeah. Seems to me that Jesus might be sad at what we do. Don't ask me, I'm just short fat job to do. But I know they keep them out, lock them up and give me my gun. It's a call to war and a call to hate and a prayer to the wrong one. Until that fourth right rising faster than we can see. All the hatred, all the lies, nowhere left to flee. Put a